Hello, this is Samsa again. After a good while I've been sort of gone and done all kinds of exams and stuff like that, but I am finally back doing the GOL Cast, and today we are going to talk about a game called Polychromatic. It's a twin-stick arcade shooter developed by Brushfire Games, and before we go any further, disclosure, I have indeed received a key from the developers for beta testing and review purposes. So in Polychromatic, your job is to eliminate all the enemies that arrive wave after wave, and eventually kill enough of them to reach the high scoreboard. As you can see, it's graphically very Spartan and very clear. In my opinion, it's very good that it looks like this, because there is basically nothing that would completely distract you from the game. You can very easily focus on what is going on the screen, and you can very easily spot the various kinds of enemies, which are also they are basically just shapes with various colors, so it's very easy to spot them and react accordingly to them. Also, due to the graphical sort of Spartan look, it also works well on slower machines, so if you have Intel HD Graphics 3000, for example, on your laptop or whatever, you can still play this game. I have tried it, it runs at 60 FPS, and there aren't really any problems. It also runs on my AMD R7 370 with the open source drivers without any problems, as you might expect. The gameplay is very intense, it can get quite fast, and it's definitely quite tough, especially in the beginning when you are still getting used to the game and the speed and all the different enemies. But it's not like frustrating, it's quite addicting actually. And after a run I usually end up doing another one right after the first one, because I simply cannot get enough. I've actually been playing this game quite a bit during both the pre-release phase and after it, and I have actually played the game for, I believe, 5 to 6 hours now. It's quite a lot considering what this game actually is. And let's talk a bit about the enemies. So there are all kinds of enemies, they react in a little bit different ways. For example, the red triangles, they will try to simply point towards you and then hunt you down. These tear-shaped enemies, they will dash at you. The blue blocks will attempt to fire at you. And yeah, they are all pretty different to one another, and there is enough variety to keep you on your toes, because you need to actually react in a proper way when you see this type of an enemy and that type of an enemy, and you also need to react to where the enemies will spawn. Sometimes they will spawn at the edges of the circular game area, or sometimes they will spawn more towards the center, and that will also affect what choices you have to make to play the game. There is no story here, no missions, nothing like that. It's completely score attack. You're only here to try to get the best score and to get as high on the high scoreboard as possible. So it's very simple. What you see currently is basically what you're going to get. It's as simple as that. And there are 3 game modes though. There is the endless mode, which is basically you are given, I believe, 5 lives or something like that. And if you die 5 times and you haven't gotten more health while you have played the game, it's game over, and then your score is submitted to the scoreboard. But as I said, you can also get more health by killing enemies, and you can also get these special abilities which you can use. You only get a limited amount of them in the beginning of the game. You get 4 of each. There are 2 types of these special abilities. One of them is sort of this dash ability. It makes you invulnerable for a moment and allows you to go really fast, so you can use it to escape from various situations. And then there is another panic button of sorts, which will fire shots in every direction, and it will pretty much clear the board. Not completely, but usually it clears the board enough for you to sort of get back into the game. So those are basically your 2 panic buttons, and you will want to use them if you are stuck in a situation where you simply cannot escape from. And then there is the timed game mode, which is, as you can probably already guess, it's just the same thing, but instead of being endless, you're given unlimited lives, but you only have a certain amount of time. and that timer will tick down, but when the timer reaches 0 you will naturally die. You can also get more time by killing enough enemies, so you will want to definitely go after the enemies as much as possible. The final game mode is 1 life, and once again very self-explanatory. You're given only 1 life and you will try to survive as long as possible. It's one of the harder game modes in this game. But all of these game modes are more or less just the same thing. There are slight modifiers, like in 1 life you only get that 1 life, in time you only have limited amount of time. Endless is pretty much the standard experience, and that's the one I have played the most, though I haven't quite dominated the high score board for that. I believe I'm at 2nd place at the time of recording. But yeah, they are all pretty much the same thing. There isn't too much variety there. But so overall, even though the game modes are very similar, I have had a lot of fun with this game, especially the fact that I played this game basically against Liam. We both tried to beat each other's high scores. It was really fun, and I believe you will also enjoy it if you have friends that play the game, or you simply want to compete against the global high score board. It's a lot of fun. I have enjoyed my time thoroughly. Though the game pretty much needs a gamepad to play it properly. The game can be played with a keyboard, but I wouldn't advise doing that because the keyboard controls are clunky at best. The keyboard controls will limit your movement, and you cannot aim as well as when you used a gamepad, so the gamepad is pretty much a requirement here. And there isn't any like mouse and keyboard controls, so you cannot use your mouse for anything in this game. So it's either keyboard or gamepad, and I would definitely pick the gamepad from those two options. It's definitely the winner here. So if you don't have a gamepad, you might want to consider passing this. I had fun with the keyboard and keyboard controls. I tried it just for the sake of this review, but I definitely wouldn't enjoy the game as much as when I played the game with a gamepad. Apart from that, the game it's very solid, and I believe if you happen to own a Steam machine, or if you're planning on buying one, this might be a very good game to play there, because it's pretty much a gamepad game, and it's something that you can easily play when you like lay back and relax a little bit. So I believe that this game would suit a Steam machine system or a Steam machine configuration quite well, though it does definitely work really well on, you know, a normal desktop too. I have quite enjoyed my time. The game is also not buggy at all. I haven't found a single bug, not before the release and not after the release. And I also have to say the soundtrack is quite nice. It sounds awesome and it really works with the game. But yeah, that's pretty much Polychromatic. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and naturally we will see in future videos.